So in today's video, I'm going to be showing off some maps that I made in Minecraft based off of some video games that I like. So the first one is based off of Don't Starve, and you may look at this and see, what correlation does this have to Don't Starve? Well, the answer is, it's my own take on Don't Starve as a Minecraft game. I call it Don't Burn Alive. As you can see, we have a full cast of characters such as Steve, Sparkler, Sizzle, Skelly, Scarecrow, Spender, Slade, and Skinless. They all have their own abilities, and also I like these little banner patterns that I made for them all. Um, Also, if you're wondering why these guys are caged off, it's because a while back I would play this game with my friends, and um, they got this far in the game, and I managed to unlock 5 characters. And as you can see, if you click on one of the buttons, you get you get the items that the character would have. Since I'm an idiot, I didn't know how to, make it so that a command wouldn't appear. Over here was the achievements, and as you can see, some of them are filled in because, like I said, my friends would play this game. Uh, and basically, another thing that would be in the achievement room is like areas for collectibles, like music discs, like Other Side, and I think there's a music disc in here. Oh yeah, I also got tiers. And there would also be like a bookshelf, and if you look up here, this would be like the item shop that you would buy items in between rounds. You could talk to the shopkeeper, which is this guy. Um, you could buy new characters with emeralds. You could ask about the copper golem right there. You could buy some bread or buy an extra life or ask about the barriers here. This would be like a sort of DLC in this game where you would like buy the DLC with this, and then you would like unlock like the end. Um, I even have a little trophy room down here for the end. Um, but I never really got to actually working on the end. And the end's collectibles would be like armor trims. So that's why these are here. So yeah, that was Don't Burn Alive, but I have more that I never finished. Uh, the idea was you would walk into the nether portal and you would have to survive in the nether for as long as possible. But yeah, that is Don't Burn Alive. So for this next one, I decided to recreate the hit multiplayer horror game Dead by Daylight. So for this one, I called it Marked by Midnight, because I'm dumb, stupid, and an idiot. Um, and like all my games, it has an achievement room. And I never really finished this, so I never really got around to completing the shop. But as you can see, we actually have a few maps that you can play as, such as the factory, or the lab, which is still in development, or the city and the woods. The city is still in development. This game was never really finished. A lot of my games in Minecraft aren't really finished. Here would be the survivors. Most of them were placeholders. We got Jesse, got the carrot. My friends suggested this one, Steve, and since I couldn't think of anything, I decided Hatsune Miku would also be a placeholder character. And for the killers, we have the hero, which is based off of Hero Brian from Press Start to Laughs, What If Steve Talked in Minecraft series. The Reaper, which is Entity 303, the Void, which is Null, and the Dweller, which is the Dweller. And since I'm making all these in Bedrock Edition, the head quality isn't really that good, as you can see by the how the Dweller looks. But now I shall show you the maps that I made with my friends. So since I don't know how to do commands all that well, I had to make it so that there was an individual button for survivor and killer spawns. But the factory looks like this. This is where the survivors spawn, and basically the main concept of the game is that there would be tasks around the map instead of generators. So, like for example, in the factory, you would have to like stand here and do this, and just stand here for a while, leaving you as an open, vulnerable target to complete the task. Of course, I always made sure that every task was toggleable, so you could click that to uh, reset the task. Um, but if you completed a task, um, you would notice this little light on a scoreboard appear. And if all five lights on a scoreboard appeared, then you would, then the survivors would win. Of course, every map had a leave game button because, that kind of thing. This is the absolute horrid monstrosity of a car that I built for this map. Um, One thing that I'm really proud of that me and my friends made is this little room, which is like a little radiation chamber. And basically, we made it so that if you walked in, um, you would gain a poison effect. Can we see it? No, but as you can see through the commands on screen, um, you would get poison as you went to complete the task by flicking all these levers. I'm really proud of this one, and I really wish I could finish it, but I just never really found the time to. And the other map that we completed was the cabin. So let me just show you that. Where is it? So the cabin was a bit unique in concept because basically, since the game is always at night, NPCs that would sleep would always sleep. So I made it so that a constant thing you would have to do is take care of a villager that was trying to sleep and prevent the killer from, killing the villager. One cool thing that was put in the game is this, where there's little defenses that you can put up. But the thing is, if you put defenses up on one side, the defenses on another side would not be there. So that is what we got for Marked by Midnight. And there's like one other game that I did some work on that I'm proud of. So this is my recreation of Cult of the Lamb. I called it Cult of the End, and I actually managed to get a good bit of work done before I went off to do other projects, like my YouTube channel. Basically, uh, one idea I had is instead of like having a crafting area, there would just be locations around the cult grounds that you would like upgrade. Like you could get a kitchen, which would allow followers to cook their own meals, or like build a brewery. And like right next to the upgrade sign, there would be a cost sign that would show what you needed. And like there would be a tent that the followers would live in. And my concept for the game is that you would worship the Ender Dragons, so I made this semi good looking statue, and it even has a little campfire that you can burn, just like in the game. This would be your temple. I know, I am such a master at building things, and it doesn't look like a crappy box. But we're making it so that you could like change your equipment and like upgrade your cult. I think, yeah, this is. We never really got done with this, but we made it so that you could like get various things. I think I might have wired it wrong because that looked more like the equipment room. But yeah, and if we go over here, you can notice these, which would take you to various areas like the Gold Caverns or Ram Mountain and Steve's Cabin. Uh, by the way, here's Steve's Cabin. Steve is like the Ratau of this game. And you can play Knucklebones, and we actually made it functional. Basically, you would have this little system where you would um, press a button and then you would get a block that you would then like put into one of these slots. And instead of Knucklebones where it's like you put a slot here and then any same colored number that would be in this slot here would disappear. It would be more like the rows. And if one of your things is discarded, you can always just toss it back into the hopper and it would go back into the dispenser. Um, so yeah, that was Steve's cabin, and then of course you could always return to your cult. Another thing we got done was the Mushroom Island, which is similar to the mushroom area from Cult of the Lamb. Um, I think we did a good job decorating the place, and this is sort of the temple. I never really got around to actually finishing it, but we do have like a shopkeeper NPC, Michael. I was trying to go for like a mycelium pun with this guy, but yeah, that's his dialogue. And so far all I could think of was buying a mushroom hat, which would act as like a clothing. And the one other area that we actually managed to complete was the gold caverns, which is sort of like Midas's cave. I actually never got around to finishing it, in case you couldn't tell. Um, a lot of my games went to unfinished, but here is sort of like the hub to enter all the different cult lands. This is sort of like the gate to uh, where the end of the game is. And then, like, there would be a creeper, which would be like the the equivalent to Leshy. And then there's like, I can't remember the names of any mobs. The the piglin, which is like Haket. And then if we go over here, there would be like a guardian, which would be like Calamar, and then there would be like this crystal guy thing. What was it? I don't know what this was supposed to be, but I liked the design. But this was going to be Shamora. And as you can see, I didn't really code anything in, but let's go a little out of bounds for a moment here so you can see some work that I actually tried doing. I tried making a semi-randomized dungeon. This is kind of what I got so far for Leshy's dungeon. You would spawn in here, and then like the idea is there would be like items on the walls, and you could like click the buttons to like get your weaponry, and then you would go out into the randomized dungeon. I was gonna steal Gerg's idea for the dungeon, um, but I never got around to finishing it because I got preoccupied with my YouTube channel. So yeah, and I lied. There's actually one more that I want to show off. And for the final game that I tried recreating in Minecraft before ultimately quitting was Stardew Valley. This would be your sort of house. As you can see, it's very nicely decorated. We got a TV and a bed. Anyway, my current idea is that instead of a bus taking you to the Calico Desert, it would be a nether portal that would take you to a Soul Sand Valley. Um, Yeah, and then this is kind of what I got going for Pierre's shop. I have a simple system to make it so that you can enter when it's daytime, and these pressure plates are here in case you get locked in at night. Um, and like Pierre would be here, and then this is the shelves. And then if you go in here, you can like find all the rooms. Of course, I don't have a system implemented so that you like have a friendship level with all the NPCs. So you can just like barge into their rooms if you want. But this is supposed to be like Abigail's room. Yeah. And then this is like Pierre and I forgot what his wife's name is. This is their room. This is sort of like the living room area. This is that temple, and this is the kitchen. But yeah, that's kind of all that I have for this. I think they all turned out pretty good. And if you would like to see more of this kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll continue working on this kind of stuff for content. But yeah, that will be all for today's video. And peace.